doing here? Life after money. Yes, this is me. It's coming up to Christmas. I don't celebrate Christmas. But I do make a few things to sell at the local Christmas fair, which is on in early December in the village hall. So I make a few bits and bobs to sell, to make a few pennies, pounds, whatever, for the local cat rescue. So I normally do shopping bags, which I have already done this year, but people seem to have already got a lot of shopping bags, so I'm doing something a bit different. Now, in the past I've shown you how to make flowers out of felt and out of tin cans. So I'm not sure if I've covered this before, but I'm making flowers out of plastics now. Anything plastic. I collect plastic. I collect colourful plastic, and I cut it up into flower shapes and make these, which can be put into plant pots, into the flower beds in the garden. So I'm making some more of these. These I made last year and they're go in my own garden, but I'm making some more now because I think they might sell quite well on our stall in the village hall. So how do we make these? Well, the materials that I need are, first of all, templates for the shapes, the flower shapes, large, medium and small, and I cut out the plastics. I collect all kinds of plastics. People collect it for me as well. They give it to me, and I cut it up using the templates into these shapes. Now, this was like a box of wash tablets thing. I don't use wash tablet things. I use washing powder in my machine, but they make these tablet things in plastic boxes now, so this is ideal to use them up. Any colourful plastic. So I've now got I've made 12 actually. I've made 12, but I'm part way through it, so I stopped to show you how I'm doing it. So I've got 4 left, but this is what happens at the next stage, that I use wire, short pieces of wire. I poke holes in and put a button on the top. So I've got all of these sort of partially assembled, sort of ready, and there will be 12 when they have finished. Right, so what do we do first? As I say, cut the plastic shapes out with the templates, and then I've got 3 pieces in front of me. I have this little board here, which is an old mouse mat, because I am going to be stabbing holes in these. So I need some wire. Got the wire. I need some, about a piece about, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 inches, maybe more. This wire is thin enough to cut with scissors, but I'll use the pliers. So we've got the wire. Got the wire there, fold it in half, and you could bend in the middle like that, 2 ends of equal length almost, and thread the button on. I use any odd buttons that I've got. Pull it through like that, so we've got the button on, and now we need to start with the small petals. Stab 2 holes through, make sure that it's big enough to get the wire through. Put the wire through there, thread it onto the wire and pull it tight. Then again with the medium sized flower in the middle, I use these nail scissors, which are quite handy. These nail scissors I can use for cutting out as well. Put it on there. Right, that's number 2. Might need to twist a bit. There we go. So, and then the third biggest petals. 2 holes in. Give it a bit of a twist to make the holes big enough for the wire to pass through. And there you go. Right, that's the first stage. Now, I've been using knitting needles. Lost them now, really. That was a knitting needle. Now you can see at the back I've actually stuck tape over. That can be done, but now I actually use a glue gun and put a blob of hot glue on the back, which keeps it firm. So you can make heart shapes and flower shapes. You could actually make little Christmas trees. So what we'll do here is I'll get a knitting needle, and we want this, and twist a little bit round the back, and you see I'm just giving it a couple of twists, which makes a little hole there that the knitting needle can be put through, like that. Pull it through so that the little knob at the end is not showing at the front. So you've got 2 pieces of wire there. Now they have to be wrapped around the knitting needle. One wire goes around one way. It's a bit fiddly. You can actually use these if you want to pull it tight. Goes around one way, and then the other one goes around the other way, and wrap it as tightly as you can around, move that a minute, around the knitting needle, so that it is quite tight. There will be a little bit of sideways movement there, but it doesn't matter. If you've got a glue gun, better. If not, you could use the tape, as long as it's very sticky, strong tape. So just wrap the wire down as far as it will go. So that means that is quite firm actually. It doesn't matter if the wire is showing below the flower. You see, that one there is. I've wrapped it all the way down there. And as I say, you can get it a bit tighter by using the pliers to twist it. But that will be fine. So then what I do is get the hot glue gun and have a nice splodge there. Can you see where I've done it? There. Splodge the hot glue gun there, or use the tapes and fasten it there. Right, now if you haven't got knitting needles, I've got some knitting needles. You can pick them up at car boot sales, or people throw them out, or ask your friends if they've got any they don't want. If you haven't got any, then you can use these, which are from one of these umbrella type things. You can take apart an umbrella. If your umbrella is a bit bent and buckled, this thin one comes from an umbrella. So take apart your umbrellas and recover the spokes from it. This was from like a patio umbrella, a big one. So you can use any thick pieces of wire like that. The wire I use for fastening it on is sort of thin-ish. You can get this from a DIY shop or a pound shop actually. And there you go. So I'm going to carry on making all of these. 12 I shall have when I've finished, and they will go on the stall and I'll be selling them off to make money for the cat rescue. When you finish them, these are what I made earlier in the year, they're still fine. When you've finished assembling them all together, you can put bling on them. And I've used the hot glue gun again and put big sequins on. You can put nail varnish on. I put glitter on there, which is nail varnish plus glitter as well. So bling them up however much you like actually, and then all you need then is a pot plant. Right, my pot plant. And use them to decorate as many as you like your pot plant. I don't know if that's in shot, can you see? My plastic flowers. Now I've got a whole load of plastic here left over, but I'm going to have to think of a use for that now, because it's all small pieces. So there you are. Who's going to have a go at making these plastic flowers basically out of rubbish? You've only got to buy your hot glue and your glue gun if you haven't got one. You spend £1 on some wire, and you can scrounge sequins. You can find them at car boot sales. People give them away, and make your decorations for your garden, and maybe you could sell them. You could sell them at your local craft fair or your local Christmas fair. So bye, Mean Queen, Life After Money, signing off.